Hello everyone, I'm Anna Vanila. Welcome to my channel Anna Vanila Arts, where I share absolutely everything that I know, everything that I've learned over the years, everything from my experience, from drawing, crafting, knitting, crocheting, and all sorts. In this video we are doing this blue hat for the summer. I've done a bit of stretch band already to show you. I'm going to show you how I do it so it doesn't stretch too much, because with washing the hat and so on, anything stretches over time, but this would just hopefully remain the same after many washes to come. So we transfer the right loop onto the right needle, and then, so we do not knit this, we start knitting a purl stitch. After a purl stitch we grab the front stitch from behind, like so. So we do not need this big loop, this front stitch. We just transfer it onto the needle. Then we need a purl stitch. Then we grab the loop of a front stitch also on the needle, and we need a purl stitch. We grab it like so. Purl stitch, purl stitch, purl stitch, purl stitch, and so on until the end of this row. I've forgotten to tell you the most important thing. The needles that I use here is size number 4, actually number 5, sorry, and 84 loops on my needles, 84 stitches at 84 loops. This is the second row that we are doing of this stretch band. So again, first one we never ever knit, we just transfer it onto the right needle, put the yarn to the front and do a purl stitch. Then we do a front stitch. We need the purl stitch, we need the front stitch, we need the purl stitch, we need the front stitch. And this is why it's so easy, and any beginner could do this hat. So it's one and one purl stitch, one front stitch, one purl stitch, one front stitch, and we do this every second row. But on the first row we do not need the front stitch. Here we need all of them. On the second row we need all of them, every stitch, as a purl stitch and front stitch. And this is all you need to know how to start this hat, to do the stretch band that goes around the head. So also I will be doing 6 centimeters long, tall, 6 centimeters tall. Maybe you could do 5 centimeters if you want to, or maybe more. It's how you desire. And this is it for a stretch band. So I have made a couple of pattern in here already. I've shown you how I do the stretchy band. Now I'm going to show you how I made the actual open work here, sort of like plots. It's very interesting pattern to do. It might be slightly more complicated possibly for beginners, but if you do stick around you will understand how easy it can be knitted. So the first loop we do not need, we just transfer it on the first on the right needle. We need 1 purl stitch, 4 front stitches, 3, 4, 3 purl stitches, 4 front stitches, 3 purl stitches, 4 front stitches, 4 front stitches, 3 purl stitches, and so on. This is how we knit this row, the first row. This was the first row. Now we reverse it. We do not need the first loop, we just transfer it onto the right needle. We need 1 front stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 purl stitches, 3 front stitches, 4 purl stitches. So what we see is what we knit. So if you see a purl stitch, you knit the purl stitch. If you see a front stitch, please knit the front stitch. And this is how we knit this row, the second row. So 1, 2, 3, 4 purl stitches and 3 front stitches, and so on until the end of this row. Now we do the third row. So we place the first loop onto the right needle. We do 1 purl stitch and we need 4 front stitches and 3 purl stitches, 4 front stitches and 3 purl stitches, and until the end of this row we knit the same way, 4 front stitches and 3 purl stitches, and so on. Now it gets a little bit more complicated without being complicated. So now is the 4th row. So the first loop we just transfer it onto the right needle. We knit the front stitch and then we knit one purl stitch, and we put yarn over the needle once, purl stitch twice, yarn over the needle 3 times, yarn over the needle 4 times, yarn over the needle. So make sure you've got 4 times yarn over the needle when you knit the purl stitch at the back, like on the inside out. And then we knit front stitches as we see. Then we knit again, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over. And then we knit this ones with 3 with a front stitch, then purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over. Remember, it has to be 4 times yarn over the needle. 1, 2, 3 front stitches, and then again purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch, yarn over, purl stitch. Now 3 front stitches, and we repeat this until the end of this row. Now we're doing 5th row. It's on the front, so we'll release the first loop. We knit 1 purl stitch. We always knit on the front purl stitch to make sure when we stitched the hat it has a nice edging without damaging the pattern, as you can see. And now over yarn overs we release them like so, release them, release them, and we've got 4 longer loops because we did yarn overs in the previous row. Now because there are 4, we should pair them up with 2, so we crisscross it like so, put this 3rd and 4th loop onto the needle this side, so it becomes 1st and 2nd, and the 1st and 2nd become. Let me show you again. So these 4 bigger loops, because of yarn overs we've done in the previous row, we have them here. Now we should crisscross them. We pick up the 1st and the 2nd loop and we wear them over the 3rd and 4th loop. Now 3rd and 4th loop, we place them onto the left needle. We do yarn over the 1st needle. We need 2, which was 3rd and 4th loop as 1st and 2nd loop with 1 front stitch, and then these 2 which were 1st and the 2nd loop. Then we do yarn over the needle. We knit 3 purl stitches. We release the yarn overs from the previous row that we add it up. So we see 4 big loops from the front stitches we've got here. 4 loops, and we take the left needle, we grab the first and the second loop, and we throw them to the inside like so, and then we put back on the needle and we make yarn over. We need this 2, which is first and second loops, which were third and fourth. We need it as 1 stitch of front stitch, the 2 together with a front stitch. The other 2, which was 1 and 2, we need them again as 2 together with a front stitch. Then we do yarn over the needle, and we need 4 purl stitches. So we release the yarn overs and grab these 4 big loops. We take the first and the second and wear over these other 2 loops like so. We put them onto the needle. We take with the yarn and put yarn over the needle. We need 2 with a front stitch and 2 with another front stitch. Then we do yarn over the needle, and we need all these 3 purls simple. And now we release again. Three purl stitches, release, grab the 2, crisscross, yarn over 2, 1, 2, 3 purls, and so on. It's not very difficult. It's quite easy to master it. You'll find it easier the more you learn to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops, and crisscross like so. 2, 3. Again, we do the same. And so on. We do this until the end of this row. Now we are doing the 6th row. The first one, we grab it and put it onto the right needle. We need a front stitch, 1 front stitch. The yarn overs we need it with a front stitch like so. We see 2 purl stitches. We need them as they look at us. Basically the 6th row, we need how the stitches are looking at us. For example, if you see a front stitch, you need the front stitch. If you see a purl stitch, you need it as a purl stitch. But the yarn overs, you should knit them with a front stitch, like so. So 2 purl stitches. This is a yarn over from previous row, so it's a front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, purl stitch, and so on. This is the whole pattern that you needed to know to be able to make this hat for yourself and enjoy wearing it and looking fantastic and special and not like everybody else, because you have a special hat which not many have. Totally unique to you. So now we knit from the first row to the 6th row, and then you knit from the beginning, first row until 6 rows, then you return to the first row again, and you will get such a creative and beautiful pattern which not many people know about. So why not try one like this, like so, yourself? It will be and look beautiful, don't you think so? Here is my new hat, which looks fantastic on the front and on the back. This is the stitching, and I wanted to show you how I hide my stitches in case you don't know how. So you need a needle like so, a big needle like this one, and then you just find the loops and you make a knot. I'm doing the knot some possibly here to secure it so it doesn't go anywhere, and then I just hide the yarn with the help of the needle. This is it. Now we cut it off. And this is how you achieve something that goes on inside out at the back of your head. At the same time, make sure it's not like too rough when you wear it, really. The stitch, not to be too rough. Hello everyone again. This is the finished I'm so excited, really. It's a finished pattern, finished hat, and you can see it looks fantastic. It has yarn over here and open work pattern. It's got absolutely everything why not to love this hat. And as you can see, it's very stretchy, is comfortable, it will be warm if needed, it will be breathable if needed, it will hold the hair nicely and also keep you warm if so, and it should definitely suit anyone, any age, any time, any color of hair. It would just complement your appearance very nicely. It's stylish, it's lovely, the pattern is just fantastic. As you can see, it might not be possibly as easy for beginners, but not difficult to do for sure. This is how it looks at the back. I've stitched from the front. The stitching is here. I've done hopefully a great job. I've hidden the odds and ends, the yarn that was left over, I've hidden it here, and when we wear it with this at the back, and this is the front, and I love it. I love the color, I love how it turned out. I think it's fantastic. I hope you like it too, enough to make one yourself. If you do happen to make one yourself or use this pattern to make something else for you or for your friends and family, then please send to me pictures of your artwork, and I will be happy and glad that some of my tutorials were useful to you and that my channel benefits you in some ways to create something beautiful and practical. Let's try now to wear it on the mannequin. I think it's fantastic. So that's how it looks like. This is the pattern. This is a stretch band. Looks nice. And it covers the ears, the forehead. If you've got an updo or hairdo, it will just hold in place because I've made extra longer, so that if I do happen to have my hair done at the top like a bun or something, it should fit in there because it's extra larger at the crown at the top. This is a stitch which is done carefully. I hope you love it. Please subscribe and see you next time on my channel Anna Vanilla Arts, where I'll be doing other creative things with you together. So see you soon, and wish you all the best and love you all. Bye.